Hello my people, yes, so it's your girl Anita Hogan, and this is my video diary about my journey in the diaspora so far. Well, I'll first and foremost, before I start, I would like to say you guys should forgive my croaky voice, forgive my, nasal congestion. I have fever, I have a cold, I have catarrh, I have everything, but you know how it is, it shouldn't stop us from moving on. You know what I'm saying? So just forgive me. Now, this is a video diary I created some time back to afford me the opportunity to give gist about my experiences while sojourning in the diaspora. Like I always say, it is not a video diary I created for just myself. It is something I created for everybody out there. You really don't have to be living in the diaspora to participate. Who knows, some gist you will give would help somebody out there. So it's also a video I created to afford everybody to share their experiences, tell their stories, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, this particular video, I'm going to be talking about one very crucial thing. That a lot of us that live in the diaspora experience every now and then, and that is loneliness. What inspired me talking about this topic, loneliness, is I came across some Dutch white chick, some white chick shop somewhere, and she came to meet me and said, "Oh, Anita, you're always so cool. You keep your calm. You have a smile on your face all the time. Don't you ever feel lonely?" And I'm like, well, yeah, and then she went ahead to tell me the story of how she decided to take a world trip so many years, about 20 years back. And, the world trip ended in Italy. When she in Italy, she came across a very fascinating culture, and we all know Italians are very spontaneous and like tutto bene, very dramatic and very nice and fun people to be with. And then you know how it is, food wise, everything. People are just out of this world when it comes to life. You know what I'm saying? So she got fascinated and decided to stay back in Italy, and of course she met a very nice Italian guy, and the relationship was nice, but according to her, she always felt lonely. She always felt homesick. She was always very homesick. She didn't know what else. She didn't know how to get over it. She just didn't know what to do, and the guy tried his best to help her. Today, after a while, the loneliness and the homesickness, started having some kind of negative effect on the relationship, and she never really got out of it until she went back home to her family. And now, how do I get over loneliness? I'm one person that, I don't know, by nature, I'm not tied to the apron string of my family, or, if I don't see my mama, I go die. I'm not that kind of person. I've always been very independent. I've always been very out there, but my dear people, once in a while, it can be very lonely knowing, having behind my head that I came into this country in my 30s. So I had already had a historical shellings back home. I already had my friends, my life, my job, my career back home. So once in a while you miss those things, you miss the life you had back home, and it can result to a terrible feeling of loneliness. You know what I'm saying? What do I do? I do the usual thing. I try once in a while to cook some nice Nigerian meals back home, here at home, and I encourage my children to eat with their hands, and they chop a bar. You know what I'm saying? Another thing that I used to like a lot when I was back home was ewa going. I don't know how those people did their pepper, but I tried to replicate it, and I pour gari on top. You know what I'm saying? I know they do that side, drink gari, chop beans. I know they do that one. We'll pour the gari on top, mash it. You know what I'm saying? Scoop the something. You know what I'm saying? I used to do that back at home, so I try to replicate that here. And when I don't do that, I will just stretch legs, say yes. A little bit of that loneliness would subside. So food helps me a bit. Another thing I do is I go to some parapo meeting. Here there's an aqua cross meeting, and I go there simply to listen to people speaking the language. You know what I'm saying? know, just see people speak the BBO and Efik language, and we sit back and crack up ourselves on how to, you know, just have some fun to, you know, just mixing up with those people has a way of, you know, dampening my loneliness to a certain extent. You know, when it just helps me. It helps me. Another thing I do also is I listen to Nigerian music a lot. You know, I don't, when the children are off to school and the husband is out of the house, I will just turn music, you know. Oh, son, do your wind, yo. Oh, son, do your wind, yo. You know, and I listen to some new generation songs. It's so really enough respect, man. And I dance. Well, I'm not listening alone. I don't follow dance. Sexy mama, oh yeah, my job mama. Sexy mama. Oh yeah, my job mama. You know, I go just sit down my own day dance. After 30 minutes of dancing and I'm all sweating and all drained and the energy is all burnt, and I'm like going to sit back and say, whew, you know, I won't lie, it helps a bit. It helps a bit to reduce the loneliness. Another thing I did do is say, I did like, you know, when I was back in Nigeria, I used to be a very churchy person. You know, me basically because of the choir. I was a member of the choir, and we go to sing praise and worship, and you know, not be saying anything, you know, just to relieve stress. So I try to replicate that here. You know, see my drum here. You know, I go sit down on my own. You share all. They sing some nice churchy song, because I used to do that a lot back home. It relieves, I won't lie, it relieves a lot of you know, that homesickness. You know, it helps me a lot. Now, these are the little things I do. What do you guys do? Yeah, some of you out there, I'm sure you have some interesting things to share. I know you have some things you do to relieve stress. Please share. You never can tell who it would help out there. One love. You share all.